This is the DJI Air 2S, and this is shaping up to be one of my favorite tech of 2021 so far. Here's why. Now, let me get this out the way. I'm not an annual drone buyer. I don't buy drones every single year. The only reason why I decided to buy a new one, my Spark, which I got back in 2017, unfortunately, I crashed it on the side of a tree because the battery was so puny on the Spark, lasting only for 16 minutes. It just started landing automatically and I just couldn't control it. DJI was working on a brand new drone. I didn't want to buy one right away, so that's why I decided to play the waiting game. And now, long and behold, the Air 2S is here and is just being my favorite drone. Now, this particular drone is for beginners and for professionals. So essentially take the Mavic Pro 2 and the Air 2 and just you mash them together, you get the Air 2S. What makes the Air 2S so special is the camera. You know, you have a 1-inch sensor this time around, so you can capture amazing low light, and to go alongside with that, you have the 5.4K video resolution. While the Mavic 2 Pro can only shoot up to 4K at 30 frames per second, the Air 2S 4K at 60 frames per second. There are some caveats behind that, and I'm going to explain in a little bit. The Air 2S can shoot up to 150 megabits per second, while the Mavic 2 Pro has 100 megabytes per second. Now, here's the caveat I was talking about. When shooting 4K at 60 frames per second, you're getting a cropped image. So essentially, you're not utilizing the 1-inch sensor when you shoot in 4K 60. It's going to be cropped in just a little bit to accommodate the 60 frames per second, especially if you're taking a video of an entire landscape and you want the whole field of view. Just accommodate that crop. You might have to move back a little bit. Now, you do have zooming capabilities present here. So 1080p at 60 frames per second, you can zoom up to 6 times, while 1080p 30, you can zoom up to 8 times. 4K 60, you can zoom into 3 times. 4K 30, you can zoom up to 4 times. And 5K or 5.4K, I should say, no zooms whatsoever. And of course, with that 4K 60, you gotta add in that crop sensor, so you're already zoomed in anyway. So I just been using this drone nonstop, just flying it all week, especially 4th of July. I was able to record some fireworks and I was able to capture those amazing fireworks with the Air 2S. And as you guys can see, low light capability is pretty insane. I could be able to see everything, the cars, the fireworks, the building lights. And I wasn't even shooting at the maximum resolution at 5.4K. So it's gonna even be more sharper. And on top of that, you're gonna be able to adjust the white balance, the ISO, or even the shutter speed. And to keep it simple, you can shoot it on auto, but having everything on one ISO keeps everything nice and smooth without it flickering. Now, the battery life, you're getting 31 minutes of maximum flight time. Now, you also got to accommodate the wind speeds on how strong the wind is going to be. But realistically, I would say I get like about 25 minutes with this drone. But I feel like DJI at this point in the game, they should be able to increase the battery life. It shouldn't be no need how all the drones are 31 minutes. I feel like now with these drones, especially on the Pro models, we should be getting an hour battery life. But nonetheless, the battery is still good. I wanted the Fly More combo so I could just swap out the battery and get back up in the air with no problems. But nonetheless, it would be nice to see 60 minutes or even 40 minutes at least. The batteries are pretty expensive, costing like about $124. So if you try to buy like 2 of them or 3 of them, you're better off just getting the Fly More combo, totaling out to be $1,300 for 3 batteries, but you're getting plus more. You're getting the bag, the extra propellers, the ND filters. Everything adds up quick by the time you turn around and get all the accessories. So get the accessories one time plus the drone. Thank me later. Now, the reason why the battery rating is a bit lower on the Air 2S compared to the Mavic Air 2 is because of the weight. The weight on the Air 2S is weighing about 595 grams, while the Air 2 is weighing about 570 grams. The heavier the drone, the more taxing it is on the battery, or the more battery drain. Now, another thing too that's new about the Air 2, we have an additional sensor. So we have a front sensor, a backward sensor, an upward sensor, and a downward sensor. So the more sensors you have on the drone, the more safety is gonna be, or less prone of you crashing your drone. The drone could be here and the object could be here and the drone is gonna just like I can't go. Now there's a mode where you could bypass and have the drone fly around the obstacles, but I feel like it kind of hesitate a little bit, and that's one of the caveats of shooting in 4K 60. That bypass mode is just gonna be disabled automatically, so it's automatically gonna break. This has Active Track 4.0, so It keeps me in focus and the drone is just gonna follow me. It was just able to just follow me, dodge around the branches, and just keeping me in focus. Now you have another mode called Spotlight. It's gonna stay right there, but it knows what to track. So I can manually move the drone anywhere. So I could freestyle, I could go whatever, while active track is just gonna follow you. So Spotlight is a handy feature, especially if you want to keep control of your drone while keeping you track, basically. And then you have POI, point of interest. So if you want to get those really smooth shots, you could be able to have the drone pan around for keeping the substance focus, basically in this case me. Now, fun little fact, I actually crashed the Air 2S. Try to demonstrate this. I was right next to a branch and the drone just... Now, thankfully, it didn't damage the drone. Not everything is still okay. But just keep in mind, you want to test out these features on the wide open area. Don't be like me testing it out where there's a bunch of trees and stuff like that. And these trees are tall too. These trees are definitely like high up. So if I crash my drone and it's stuck up there, I'm pretty much screwed probably. Now, one thing that was really cool though, the master shots. This is only found on the Air 2S, and I'm sure this is gonna make its way up to the Pro models. Drone is gonna do all kinds of moves and just have these nice cinematic shots. It's actually pretty cool to see how much the drone can do without you even doing nothing. And it's so easy to set up. All you gotta do is just draw that box, you tap on record, and the drone is gonna do all the work for you. The amount of pictures that you can get out of the drone is just jaw-dropping. So just imagine you at a beach and or maybe at a lazy river and you're laying on a donut. You could be able to take a picture while the drone is up in the air. You could get some fantastic pictures. And I was testing out the Panorama Mode and it just looks so freaking cool. Like the world just looks so much different. And I see myself using this, going to, exciting parts of the world. Taking pictures on the drone is just a league of its own. I am traveling to Florida next month and I'm definitely going to bring the drone with me. I say that to say, when you get a drone, you want to travel. You want to be able to explore different areas. And I forgot to mention, when you're flying at night, you have this light on the bottom of the drone. So this is very important because you want to be able to see the drone, especially when it comes down to the landing. And that light is super bright. Now, you do have internal storage, 8 gigabytes to be exact, but I highly recommend you guys pick up a micro SD card. The SD card I recommend you guys picking up is the SanDisk Extreme Plus, 128 gigabytes, especially if you're going to be shooting at 5.4K. You're going to need a space to accommodate that. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about the remote control, but all I can say is it's very straightforward, easy to set up. I love the fact how it has a lightning cable built into it. Now you can swap this out for Type-C or micro depending on what phone you have. And I'm just ready to go within a minute or if not seconds. Of course, you have your different modes. So you have your cinematic, your normal mode, and your sport. The only time I really use sport if I want to quickly get to another area, but cinematic if I really want to get those crisp, smooth cinematic shots. So well-designed controller. I was considering getting the smart remote from DJI, but that eye-watering price tag of $750. I was like, nah, I can't do that. That's just too expensive. And that's why I gotta say this is my favorite tech of 2021 so far. But there's a lot of tech coming out this year to keep in mind of, because we have that sub pack X1. I'm calling it now. That's gonna be my favorite tech of the year. Oh, fun fact. I could have had on a green screen. It could have probably worked, but I didn't want to try anything new too much. Let me know. I could put anything in the background. Oh, we got those shadows though.